Welcome to the solution for the hands-on activity, navigating and using basic features. Now that you have completed the hands-on activity, let me walk you through how I would approach these tasks. By the end of this activity, you will be able to navigate the Excel interface, perform essential tasks like saving and inserting data, and managing multiple worksheets. You'll also learn how to use shortcuts to enhance your workflow and understand how Copilot in Excel can assist with automating and simplifying common tasks. In step 1, we'll explore the Excel interface. Begin by downloading your data set. Next, in Excel, we need to create 2 new workbooks, as we have 2 football teams, so let's create one for each team. Begin by selecting File on the top left of the screen, and now select New on the left-hand side of the navigation pane, and then select Blank Workbook. Another way of creating a new workbook is by using the shortcut Control and N. Now that we have created 2 new workbooks, let's familiarize ourselves with the ribbon and its tabs. We have Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, View, and Help. Hover over each tab and explore to see what features each one contains. Next, we need to identify the formula bar and the name box. The formula bar is located above the workspace, and it is where you can see the contents of selected cells or enter formulas. The name box is on the left-hand side of the formula bar, and it is where you can identify cell references. Now we can navigate back to the Backstage view in the File tab. Now you can explore options such as Save, Save As, Print, Export, and the account. Exit the Backstage view using the shortcut Escape. In step 2, we will begin to customize the interface. Create more workspace by hiding the ribbon. You can do this by selecting the drop-down arrow at the top right of the screen and showing full screen mode or the tabs only. Another way of doing this is by using the shortcut Control and F1. You can return the ribbon using the same shortcut. Now you might want to customize your quick access toolbar, which is located at the top left of your workbook. You can do this by selecting the drop-down arrow and ticking next to the options you wish to add. I've included Undo, Redo, and for more options you can go to More Commands, and from this list on the left, you can select additional options such as Cut, click Add, and then click OK. Now you can experiment with different page layout views. We're currently in the normal view, but you can also work in the page layout view where you can add headers and footers. Finally, I would strongly encourage you to customize your workbook experience, again in the Backstage view. Here you can navigate to the Account area, where you can change your background and your office theme to suit your style. Press Escape, and now we can navigate the workbook. In the first new workbook that we've created, select cell A1. Do you notice that the active cell is now highlighted by a green box? To navigate to the bottom of this worksheet, use the shortcut Control and the down arrow. To navigate to the last row in the worksheet, you can use Control and the right arrow. Finally, to return to the top of the worksheet, use Control and Up, and to return to cell A1, use Control and the left arrow key. We can also navigate to a specific cell in the worksheet using the name box. In the name box on the top left, I will enter D50, then press Enter. Another way to navigate within the worksheet is to use the shortcut Control and G. In the reference box, enter the cell reference, for example, J320, and then press OK. You can check the cell reference in the name box. Now we can begin working within the worksheets. So in one of the first new workbooks, add a new worksheet by selecting the plus sign at the bottom left of the screen. And now we have created sheet 2. And the keyboard shortcut for inserting an additional sheet is to use Shift and F11, or depending on the setup of your keyboard, using Shift function F11. Next, we need to rename one of the worksheets, and I'll rename it by double-clicking on the sheet name and inserting Match Results, and press Enter. Another way to rename a worksheet is by right-clicking on the sheet name, selecting Rename, and we can name this one Player Data. Finally, let's add a third worksheet called Team Stats. Rearrange these worksheets by dragging the tabs to reorder them. So I'll put Player Data first, then Match Results, and then Team Statistics. We need to then delete any unnecessary sheets by right-clicking on the tab and selecting Delete. To delete unnecessary sheets using your keyboard, you can also press Alt and E and then L to delete the sheet directly. Remember, deleting a sheet is permanent. Next, we need to perform steps 1 to 6 above in the second workbook that you have created. So I will label the first sheet Player Data, the next sheet Match Results, and the final sheet Team Stats, and press Enter. Now we have our workbooks ready. In the Match Results worksheet, enter the following headers in the first row: date, team name, opponent, score, venue, outcome, and key players. Once we have created our headings, you can experiment with formatting the headings. Use the formatting tools from the Home tab to, for example, bold the headings. So begin by highlighting and selecting bold, or using the shortcut Ctrl and B. Next, we can add a background color. Now we need to repeat these steps in the second new workbook you've created for the second football team. So enter the headings date, team name, opponent, score, venue, outcome, and key players. Once again, format the headers using Ctrl and B, and then selecting a background color. Now we can begin using some Excel shortcuts for efficiency. Navigate to the data containing the player details in the provided dataset that you've downloaded. Here you can navigate between worksheets. Highlight the first data range containing the player details for Team 1. Practice selecting a range of cells using the Shift arrow keys. Let's start with using Shift right arrow and then Shift down arrow. Hold the Shift key while doing this. Alternatively, you can also use the Control Shift and right arrow, Control Shift and down arrow to select the entire range. Copy the data from this worksheet using Control and C. Navigate to your first new workbook, and in the Player Data tab, use Control and V to paste the information. Let's repeat steps 1 to 3 above to copy and paste the player details of Team 2 into your second new workbook. So again, using Control Shift right, Control Shift down, and then Control and C to copy. Now we can move to the new workbook, and in the Player Data tab, use Control and V to paste the information. Finally, we want to save and share your work. We can save your workbooks as Team 1 and Team 2 by selecting File, Save As, or using the shortcut Ctrl and S. Remember to save your workbook to a cloud-based location and to name your files accordingly. Here I will save this as Team 2 and select Save. Let's repeat this with the first workbook using Ctrl and S, and here we will say Team 1. You can check that your file has been saved correctly by checking the workbook name at the top of the screen. Next, you can explore the Share option in the File tab in order to collaborate with other sports managers or administrators that might need access to these workbooks. You can do this by selecting Share. You can then send this to your friends or colleagues' email address or share a link. Finally, practice exporting the Player Details tabs into a PDF by navigating to the Backstage view, selecting Export and Create PDF. Now that we have saved our workbooks, let's introduce Copilot. In the Player Details worksheet, select the Home tab and activate Copilot. Ask Copilot to help you with the task by typing, "How do I rename a sheet?" Enter the prompt into the prompt box and select Enter to execute the prompt. To rename the sheet, you can follow the instructions provided by Copilot. We can also explore another task by asking Copilot, "How do I delete a sheet?" Select Enter to execute your prompt, and once again, Copilot provides you with step-by-step instructions. Experiment by asking Copilot to show data insights in the Player Details worksheet, and it responds to say that it has provided insights on the age by height information for each player. So, for example, the average age for the height of 1.89 meters is 38. You can also see this visually represented in a chart. Next, we can use Copilot to automate repetitive tasks, such as formatting the headers in your worksheet. So we will prompt it to format the headers to bold and change the background color to gray and the font color to dark blue. Once again, select Enter to execute your prompt. Once Copilot responds, select Apply, and your headers have automatically been updated. Use Copilot to add borders as well to your data ranges in both workbooks. And don't forget to select Apply. Great! Let's recap what we've done. In this activity, we learned how to navigate Excel with confidence, manage multiple worksheets efficiently, use shortcuts to streamline workflow, leverage Copilot to assist with routine tasks, and customize Excel to fit personal preferences and boost productivity. By following these steps, you will be able to work more effectively in Excel, enhancing both efficiency and productivity.